If your Lenovo won't boot from a USB stick, first check whether the drive is missing from the boot menu or appears but gets blocked. Those are two different problems, and each points to a different BIOS setting. I'll show you how to identify and fix both, plus a reliable way to open Lenovo's boot menu and BIOS. With the laptop completely switched off, plug in your bootable USB stick. I'm using a low-profile USB drive that barely sticks out, and I've linked a similar one in the description. First, open the boot menu so we can see which problem we're dealing with. On this laptop, the easiest way is the tiny Novo button on the side. Press it with a paperclip while the laptop is completely shut down. When the Novo menu appears, use the arrow keys to highlight Boot Menu and press Enter. In my case, the boot menu opens, but the USB stick isn't on the list. Only Windows Boot Manager on the internal SSD is listed. To find out why, hold the power button until the laptop switches off. Then press the Novo button again. When the Novo menu reappears, use the arrow keys to select BIOS Setup and press Enter. Your menus may look a little different, but the basic diagnosis is similar. Use the arrow keys to open the Boot tab. Here you'll find a setting called USB Boot, and it is disabled. Select USB Boot and press Enter. Then change it to Enabled and press Enter to confirm. Now you can press F10 and then Enter to confirm and save the change. The laptop restarts immediately, so tap F12 repeatedly to open the boot menu. The USB stick now appears. If yours still doesn't, the stick itself may not have been created correctly. I'll link that guide at the end. Select it and press Enter. If it starts, you're done. USB boot was the problem. If instead you see an error saying, Linpus Lite has been blocked by the current security policy, that points to a different problem. Secure Boot is rejecting the bootloader on this particular drive. Hold the power button until the laptop switches off. Press the Novo button again and select BIOS Setup. Use the arrow keys to open the Security tab. Secure Boot is enabled. Only disable Secure Boot for boot media from a source you trust. Select Secure Boot and press Enter. Use the arrow keys to choose Disabled, then press Enter to confirm. Turn Secure Boot back on when you're finished using the USB drive. Save the change with F10, then use F12 during the restart to open the boot menu and select the same USB drive again. The security error is gone, and the laptop boots from the USB drive. Let me know which problem you had and whether this fixed it. If the USB still doesn't appear, watch this next video to create a compatible bootable USB.